Hello everyone, welcome back. If you missed the last video, make sure you check that out for an enormous haul of Disney DVDs and Blu-rays that I was not expecting to get completely for free. A whole bunch of stuff, just really fun to dig through. And today we have an insane amount of music, tons of CDs, just kind of extra stuff he was getting rid of, and I worked through everything and decided what I wanted, what I didn't, but a whole bunch. And there's a few interesting kind of mainstream things, but the majority of it is a little more obscure that I'm going to mispronounce so many names because some of these people I've never heard of in my life, but it's fascinating. If you have heard of any of these people, let me know if you have any of these individual CDs. Let me know if you have some favorite tracks or what they're like, and maybe I'll check a few of them out because I'm always kind of curious and I like to find new things. It's always fascinating. I find it more fascinating when I have no clue what I'm looking at and like to explore something new. But the first one on top here is total opposite one. I even have this. And Vanessa Williams, The Sweetest Days on CD. I actually really enjoy that album. We have Incognito, Beneath the Surface. Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. Dance of the Dolphin. Just Whitney, so Whitney Houston. Earth, Wind and Fire, Millennium. Tower of Power, Bump City. One of the first ones here that I do not recognize. Interesting one. And if you're new to the channel, I don't get a ton of new people in these kind of videos, but if you're new to the channel at all, these are all also things that are going to be up on the eBay and Etsy store. So if you are interested in any of these for your own music collection, keep an eye out. We have the best of Dexter Gordon. Whitney Houston, I Look to You. And some more Whitney, My Love Is Your Love. So I grabbed a couple of those to put together. We have the 2020 Experience, two different editions. This is a 2-disc with the parental advisory. This is a single disc without the parental advisory, so two different versions there. I'll have to look through those. Michael Jackson, Escape. The Very Best of Funk Essentials. Spiro Aguirre featuring Jay Beckenstein. Arrested Development, 3 years, 5 months, and 2 days in the life of. The World Walks On By. This is Blitz Dine. I have no idea what this one is. One of those curiosities. Then we have Come On, Come On by Mary Chapin Carpenter. Stephanie McKay, Tell It Like It Is. Interesting artwork on that release as well. We have Jeff Ball, Ghost Town, Return to Big Sky. Stokeland Superband, Kick It Up a Step. James Galway, A Song of Home, Musical Journey. Horn Rock Bands. Tom Harrell, Time's Mirror. The Ultimate Collection of, what is this guy? Buckwheat Zydeco. So one I am not familiar with at all. Then we have Bruley and Arrow, American Indian rock opera, live at Mount Rushmore. That sounds kind of, actually might want to check that out. That sounds interesting. Then we have Extreme 2, Pornograffiti. James Brown, In the Jungle Groove. Spirit of the Sea, The Gift of Music, British sea songs, overtures, and shanties. So you get some sea shanties in a box set. This is pretty cool. Gwen Stefani, Cool, the CD single of that. Preservation Hall, Jazz Band. Oliver Mkunduzi, another one I'm not quite familiar with. And we have Jeffrey Osborne, Only Human. Spiro Aguirre, I have another one of those earlier. I didn't realize I had two. Point of View, different album, but didn't realize I had 2 of theirs, so I'll have to put those together. And then we have Working with the Miles Davis Quartet. That's definitely going to be a good one. Miles Davis is good. The Best of Newport 57. Look at that. It's actually quite a lineup. Ella Fitzgerald, it's good. Billie Holiday. Good collection of people there. Pure Disco. I have a couple of these. Pure Disco and Pure Funk. I have Pure Disco 1 and 2. And I forget if these... Yeah, these are the original recordings. I always have to look, especially when they have this kind of goofy, generic artwork on them, to see if they are like covers or original recordings. Because sometimes the original recordings of these are actually really cool. Especially if it's, Uptown Funk. But this is a good collection. Looks like original recordings as well. And then Pure Funk. George Clinton, Greatest Funkin' Hits. And YouTube, I said funkin', as in very funky. Just in case. 1985 release of Jimmy Buffett. So an older release. I always like, I don't know why, but as long as they're in good shape, a lot of mid to late 80s discs I like for a lot of these. It just depends. Sound quality, sometimes the newer ones are better, but it just depends what it is, so I'd check that one out. Harold Melvin and the Blue Tones, their greatest hits. Incognito, Positivity. I know I had a couple of these here. Incognito, 100 Degrees and Rising. So I know I have at least 3 or 4 Incognito. Bruce Springsteen, Nebraska. Mariah Carey, MTV Unplugged. In Vogue, Funky Divas. Young MC, Stone Cold Ryman. What is this one? Diggable Planets? Is that what it is? Diggable Planets, Intercommunal Sound Service, Volume 1, Blowout Comb. No idea what this is, but it looked fascinating enough to alright, I'm going to see what that is. Check that out. Looks like I have some Sinatra. And then Herbie Hancock. Denzel Washington. John Henry. Sesame Street, Platinum 2. Raven-Symoné, This Is My Time. And we have Natalie Cole in Stardust. Hiroshima, LA, Los Angeles. Hiroshima, LA, don't recognize that, but again, one of those seems like a curiosity you might want to check out. Soundtrack to Frozen. Michael Jackson, Invincible. Lester Bowie's Brass Fantasy, The Fire This Time. The Harper Brothers, You Can Hide Inside the Music. And more Harper Brothers, Live at the Village Vanguard. And a couple of kind of cafe background, like in a Starbucks, I guess you could say, kind of music collections. We have Babyface, For the Cool in You. More Babyface, MTV Unplugged, New York 1997. Cocapelli Girl. I don't know what that one is at all. Corn, Beans, and Squash, Cocapelli Girl, so another couple of those. Monk Big Band and Quartet in Concert. This is a multi-disc collection. Looks interesting. Then we have Authentic Native American Music Collection. It's a Laser Light digital release. And the soundtrack to Enchanted. That is everything on CD, but there's also a handful of vinyl. We have Fat Boys. Grandmaster, Melly Mel, and the Furious Five, Beat Street, from the motion picture Beat Street. Grandmaster Flash, you know who that is, The Source. Ramsey Lewis, Sun Goddess. Jeff Lorber, Private Passion. Oh, that's quite the look on the back. The Partridge Family album. Sputogiro City Kids. This is a cool find, Van Halen. That's a cool one. George Benson collaboration with Earl Klugh or Klo, or however you say his name. Don't know either of those guys. But we have another George Benson Tenderly, so I wanted to grab that and put those together. Patty Austin. Some Air Supply, Now and Forever. Mariah Carey. Chicago Transit Authority in concert. Earth, Wind and Fire. I always like the art on Earth, Wind and Fire albums. I don't know why, but I don't know, I'm always attracted to it when I just see like randomly in thrift stores flipping through the albums, even if it's not something I want. I always like stop for a second. I don't know why. Earth, Wind and Fire always has like really cool artwork on all their albums, in my opinion. We have the Crusaders, Healing the Wounds. And the last one we have is En Vogue, Born to Sing. So that was one heck of a huge, completely free music haul. This is kind of what I was expecting to find from him, not all that other Disney DVD stuff and everything I found in the last video. That was a complete surprise. This is more what I thought, because this is definitely more up his alley kind of stuff. But very exciting, a lot to check through, definitely a whole bunch in the listen before list kind of pile, and so I really would be curious, especially with some of these things that I've never heard of and people that I probably mispronounced their names, and I don't know, any of that kind of oddball stuff. So I'd really like to hear if you know who any of these people are, if you have favorites in any of these collections that I have, or albums and songs I should check out. Definitely let me know, because I love to find things that I'm unfamiliar with. Good to always expand what you experience.